Okay, so I want to tell you about how I personally avoid hopelessness and despair, and how I kind of get myself oriented around what I think of as like a reality-based optimism. As someone who does conflict transformation, people will often ask me, do you think there's going to be peace in the world? Is there going to be an end to conflict? Is everyone going to just agree someday? Can't we just get everyone to be on the same page? And the answer is no, we're not going to do that. The basic reason is because diversity is an inherent precursor to conflict. As long as we have diverse perspectives, lived experiences, histories, all the different kinds of diversity that we have, we'll have disagreements and we're going to see different things. The trick is that looking at that as a problem is where we get stuck, but it's not necessarily a problem. And let me just give you a quick way to think about that. If I want to look at a certain issue, um, and we could look at the big issues like the climate or the oceans or criminal justice or the punitive system, or even just like a smaller thing about who's going to do the dishes and take out the trash, or what are we going to do with this piece of land, or whatever the question is. More perspectives looking at it is going to give us a better understanding of what's going on. It becomes like a triangulation in the way. So someone who sees it from this way and someone who sees it from this way, we're getting a fuller picture of it. A easy way to think about it is when I'm looking, towards you, I'm seeing 100% different thing than when you're looking at towards me. If we want to understand even where we are, we need each other's perspectives to be able to do that. Recognizing that we need this diversity, conflict doesn't have to be as bad as it is. So my hope, well, I'll start with the despair. I'm pretty sure things are going to get worse. I'm pretty sure that our democracy is going to get more and more challenging. Seems like we're not effective at making important decisions about important things. We're not making sustainable decisions, and the meta crisis is real. Our capacity for destroying the environment is increasing, so things are going to get worse for a while. But I have hope that we can turn things around because all we really need to do is change just a couple little different things. Here's how I see them. I've taken the idea of memes, which is like a unit of cultural thought. I mean, there's the internet memes, but then like a unit of cultural thought. One of them is this rivalrous dynamics, which is Daniel Schmachtenberger talked about in the last video. But this idea of us versus them, or just even that there is an us and there's a them, that's an illusion. Um, we are interdependent. Our success is dependent on other people's success. My success is dependent on your success. So shifting our thinking from us versus them to omnipartiality. This is a term from Kenneth Cloak from his book Mediating Dangerously. But the idea of omnipartiality is it's like a bias in favor of everyone. That's right. Instead of trying to figure out what do I want out of this or what's going to be the best for me, what would it look like to go into any given situation and be like, how do I make sure that I'm getting the best of everyone who's included here? I want the best for me and the best for you and the best for the relationship, best for our grandchildren. So shifting from us versus them thinking to omnipartiality or omni-win thinking is really important. And if that's a hard jump, just remember that no matter how you look at it, we are interdependent. We're all on the same planet and we're all going to win or we're all going to lose. And the win-lose is going to cause the all lose. If I try to win at your expense, we're all going to die. The next piece, and it's very closely connected to this, is this right and wrong thinking. So this idea that this is the right way to do something or the wrong way to do something. Now, I'm pretty sure that there is good and evil, and that gets more complex and philosophical and theological. That's outside of my league. But this idea of there being like, this is right and that is wrong, the challenge with that is that it's so fixed and locked in. It's a static state. But we live in a dynamic world. So I think instead of thinking of right and wrong, we need to start thinking about better and worse. And my sense is that we can actually come up with shared ideas about what would be a better situation in here. And part of the way we can figure about that is just getting clear about what is the question we're trying to answer, whether the issue is, what would be better and what would be worse is something that I think we can get to agreement. What are the criteria for success here? And then from there, there's like always room for improvement. And I think that that kind of points to like another kind of mimetic shift, which is we need to stop trying to just get it fixed. It seems like in the United States, everyone's just hoping for like this bill to pass or that bill to pass, or if that bill passes, it's going to be a problem, or if this one passes, it's going to be a problem. We're in a dynamic, ongoing process. We want to keep going for a while. So recognizing that like this is inadequate, this would be more adequate. And then from there, we can find more increasing levels of adequacy. It's not super sexy, but I think that recognizing that we're just like making sure we're just pointing in the right direction is going to be a huge thing. And let's figure out what direction we want to go. I think that we could do that. So I think those are the main shifts is like basically like stop trying to come up with fixed outcomes, stop trying to figure out right and wrong, and shift that to better and worse. Stop doing us versus them and try to think about what an omnipartial, omni-win solution is. And all that kind of comes into like, what would it be like for us as a culture or as a community or as a leader or as an individual? Just be like, hey, this kind of conflict where we're just disagreeing with each other all the time, it's not good. We can do better than this. How could we get intolerant of crappy communication and no to like, let's ask for help. Let's figure out someone can do this. Let's get some more communication tools in here. Let's use a different system to make this decision. This voting over this or that is not really working for us. We need to stop putting up with crappy conflict and start trying to figure out how we can use our differences as an engine for change and generative growth. And part of that is just developing a value of collaboration. And I don't know, it seems to me that if we're going to make it like within a generation, I would like to see a situation where someone trying to resolve their conflict all by themselves and the other person um, would be just as silly as someone who was trying to fix their own broken bone or trying to like feed themselves without realizing that, yeah, you can go to a grocery store. It's okay. You can go to the hospital. It's okay. You know, you can go ask for help. You can go find a mediator or a facilitator or some sort of dialogue person. Or if you're a politician out there who's in a situation that is not working, go find someone who can help you make some good public policy decisions. Go use some better tools like citizen assemblies or something. This is why I have hope. Because my sense is that whatever the issue is, that if we can just start demanding that we need better communication, better decision making, better collaboration, and really hold that as a value, that we're not going to leave anyone behind and that we're going to just keep on trying to make things better and we're all going to try to figure out what better looks like. Whatever the issue is, it's going to look better. So it's not a big leap. We don't actually have to find all the solutions, but we do need to insist on having a better process to get to those solutions. This kind of comes to the end of a long series where I've been setting up the introduction to the Omni-Win Project. And that is going to be the next set of talking to you about what it is that I'm doing here. And first hint, this is a recruiting process. I can't do this alone. And I'll be telling you more about it soon. So subscribe to this channel or go over to Substack, omniwin.substack.com. You can sign up there and you can read all these things that I'm talking about and start getting tuned in, because this summer we got a new podcast coming out and I have a lot of rad people with rad ideas that are going to be coming your way. And I'm going to show to you why I don't think it's too far off to be optimistic about the situation. Or if nothing else, I'm going to try my darndest to make sure that everyone at least knew that they could have done it better and then they can choose not to. It seems like either people don't know or don't care or something, but I think that we all want the world to be better. I think that we all want to live in a world where we all win. And I'm going to go try to make that happen. So stay tuned. I'll tell you more about it soon. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful day. Bye.